It's like maybe 15.
Okay. Okay, well, we will get started. So thank you again for joining me for virtual class number 3. This is starting to actually feel normal. It used to feel really normal to be in person, so I had to adjust, but I'm starting to feel really great, about having everyone logged on and we're getting in the groove. We are recording, so we will have this class posted afterwards. Probably tomorrow morning I'll have it posted. Today we are going to have recipes that are inspired by the Sassool 500. So the Sassool 500 is really a promotion that we do in January at Sassool. This is our 3rd year doing it. We have the nutrition packs available for most of our menu. So what we do with the Sassool 500 is we show you lots of different healthy plates, make it easy. You can definitely use our nutrition packs to make your own healthy plates and kind of add up your calories and you know how much you're taking in. But during January, we feature healthy plates so you can get some good ideas. This January, we have already featured a Kafta burger. We featured kebabs today. We had a small kebab platter yesterday. So lots of things that maybe you don't automatically think, okay, this is a super healthy plate. Well, with all the fresh ingredients and the lack of added extras to our recipes, we really have so many healthy options. So today's menu is going to be kafta, which is a lean seasoned ground beef. We can use it all different ways, and I'm going to show you 5 different ways. We're going to do a cabbage salad, which is similar to the one we do at Sassool, but I really wanted to show you a really great garlic dressing that I love on my cabbage salad. So we're gonna do a little tweak on that, and we're also going to be doing tzatziki. Now, tzatziki is probably the least likely to be on the Sassool 500 in most people's perception, but everything in moderation and balance can be enjoyed and savored, and I'm so excited for you guys to be able to try all of the recipes. Hopefully some of you are cooking at home, and if you cook later and watch the video at a later time, feel free to email me if you have any questions. So we're going to kick it off with kafta. The essential dip with kafta would be garlic whip. Now, we're going to do that recipe too, so it's kind of like a 4th recipe. We're going to start off with the food processor. That's kind of like our main event of today. We're using the food processor 3 times today. The only thing is that the food processor is extremely loud. And usually when you make garlic whip, you have the food processor on for, no lie, 25 minutes. Now, I'm not going to do that to you guys. That would be really like a torture class to sign up for. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through the processes, and keep in mind, you would probably have the food processor going the entire time. So I'll walk you through the steps. I've made some ahead of time that we can enjoy with the food, but you will get the gist of the method by the end of this little mini preview, okay? So with garlic whip, what you're gonna do is you're gonna start with about 12 cloves of garlic, and it's all going into the food processor. Okay. Then there, you also add a teaspoon of salt. When you crush up the garlic with the salt is what brings out all of the juices. So you want to get that going first. Excuse the noise. Okay, now, once all of the garlic has become somewhat of a pulp with that increase in juice from the salt, you add the oil. This is the time-consuming part. It's going to take about 20 to 25 minutes. You leave the food processor going. Meanwhile, you pour the oil very, 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 very slowly into the top of the food processor. And what you'll start to see is the garlic goes from looking like a dressing to expanding and becoming very fluffy, almost looking like mayonnaise. So let me show you that part. But we won't do it for 25 minutes. Fast forward to 20 minutes later, and you have a very fluffy and creamy mix down here. What you're going to do after that is you add in the lemon juice, and it goes from being kind of a garlic color whip to pure white. So that's where you get the really, I'll show you actually. I have the garlic paste that I'll be using later. And you see how it's kind of like egg white shell or eggshell white. It's very glossy. And that's what happens after you whip it for 20 to 25 minutes. And then you add the lemon juice. What I'm going to do is set this aside since we already have some to use with the recipe, and we'll get going on kafta. Now, while I'm putting this into a separate dish, did anyone have, I know it's been like 5 weeks since we did our last class, which is super hard to believe. Did anyone have anything awesome that happened to them over the holidays? Awesome, amazing, interesting, anything? You can type it into the chat. Also, with speaking of the chat, if you do feel inclined to make a small donation towards the class, it is not necessary or expected, but if you do feel like you'd like to, the link is in the chat. It's actually the first comment in the chat. You can click on that. It goes right to PayPal. Of course, I'm very happy to have you in the class, and we will never not do the class if you don't give a donation. So this is only if you feel compelled to. Okay, now we are going to get going on kafta, which is going to use the food processor as well, but in a few minutes. Yes.
Mandy said she made your majadra and it came out amazing.
That's awesome.
Thank you very much.
That's awesome.
And they have it pretty much weekly.
Oh, that's wonderful. You know, getting Sassool like more frequent in your life, whether you go to the restaurant or you make kind of Sassool inspired recipes, is really what I want. That's been one thing that I've had to kind of be mindful of as I start getting a routine with my 3-month-old son, to start eating more produce and more salads and make more visits to Sassool while I'm working from home. So I'm so glad you guys are actually doing the recipes and enjoying that stuff at home. That's awesome. Let me grab the ingredients for kafta. Okay. So what kafta is it's a very lean seasoned ground beef, also mixed with some lamb, and it is mixed with a vegetable puree, and there's some spices in there as well. The cool thing about kafta is that you don't have to have it just as a burger. You don't have to have it, you know, as meatballs. You can do it all different ways, and I'm going to show you how we can do that really quick. So you can make it for, you know, your appetizers or your main entree. It's very versatile. I hope everyone got the recipe that I sent for the vegan kafta. I know there's a lot of vegetarians that join us, and I appreciate you guys tuning in, even if I don't have a vegetarian version today. But that one is the one that I recommend. I've made it before several times, and it always comes out really good. What I'm doing in the food processor to start off kafta is we make the vegetable mix. So we're going to start with some parsley and then green onion. And I give it just a rough chop because then this is going to go into the food processor. This is all going into the food processor.
Couple questions real quick.
Yes.
Can we find your recipes from past cooking classes anywhere?
I do. So I have some from the in-person. I have all of those in a collection. I guess we should probably post them.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is exciting is we would eventually like to have a Sassool cooking book, or cookbook, and those recipes will be going into the cookbook, which is really cool. So I will let you guys know where we end up posting the past recipes, but then also be on the lookout. Not, you know, in the next couple months, but within the next year, we would like to have a Sassool cookbook, which is really cool. So let's see. I have put in parsley, green onion, 1 red bell pepper. You take out the seeds, and then a jalapeno, and you take out the seeds. Do we have another question?
Yeah, real quick. How long will garlic paste last in the refrigerator?
Ooh, that's a good one. garlic paste will last for 3 months.
3 months.
Yes, it's very durable. I won't, okay, not 3 months exactly, but it will last for weeks and weeks and weeks. The olive oil or vegetable oil with the garlic and the lemon juice, it preserves so well. So this one is going to be something you can make and kind of use it as a condiment, your use all, you know, throughout the week, which is cool. Okay, so vegetables will get shredded up. Now we're going to add in the spices. Now, one of the spices, it took center stage on the newsletter this week. It's called baharat. It is actually a spice blend that has paprika, it has nutmeg, cinnamon, black pepper, and sometimes turmeric, depending on where you get it from. But that one goes into kafta, as well as some salt, black pepper, and a little bit more cumin. Okay, so that is my spice mix I have. And baharat is really good for rices. It's good for meat and marinades. And it's also called mixed spice, depending on which region you get it from. So sometimes they call it mixed spice. When I was younger, my dad used to make kafta on the weekends, and he'd make it as burgers. And it would always be, for me, it would be like the best garden burger I've ever had. When you go to a restaurant, you know, you can get these great burgers with onions and jalapenos and cheese and everything. But, you know, you come home on the weekend and there's this amazing garden burger with parsley and all these herbs. There's really nothing like it. So we have our vegetable mix with the spices. We also have 1 pound of lean ground beef and then a ½ pound of ground lamb. I usually find ground lamb at either the butcher's market or fresh market. They have like an extensive amount of meat. Okay, and then the vegetable mix is just going to go into the bowl with the meat. You're going to use your hands. I love having the plastic disposable gloves, but you could also just use your hands and then wash them. But you're really just mixing it, and it's just enough so that all of the herbs and spices and vegetables are in the meat. After that, you don't want to mix anymore because it'll overmix it, and all of the little amount of fat that's in the mix, it'll come out during the cooking process. Then it'll be a little dry. So we don't want to overmix it. Okay. And really what's cool with kafta is if you don't like green onion, if you don't like red bell pepper, you can add in the herbs and the spices that you really like. This is more of like the traditional flavor of kafta that you'd want for like a Lebanese kafta patty. But of course you can get creative and you can do it the way that suits your taste and the taste of your guests. Okay, so this is the mix. And I'm going to show you how to do it 5 ways. So we have the typical kafta kebab. At Sassool, we have a 5-ounce kebab. You can do a mini kebab if you wanted something for appetizers or like a cocktail hour. You can do meatballs, which of course could go into a tomato sauce or some type of recipe. You also could do it as a burger, which I'm going to do today. And then you could cook it in, with just use it like as a ground mix. And then you could use it in like a tomato sauce if you want to make a meat sauce on spaghetti. So super versatile. Now, if we want to make a burger, use about the amount of meat that would fit in your palm. Flatten it out a little bit more in the center than on the sides. And then, of course, lay it on the paper. In a perfect world, I'd have my husband helping me on the grill, but he's actually my cameraman. So I do not want to cut the cameraman. We're having him today on the camera, and we will spare the grill. We're going to do everything in the oven. So, okay, easy meatball. We have the mini kebab, which kind of starts as the meatball. You roll it to elongate it like this, and then you add the kebab, okay, like that. And you leave a long tail, if you want to call it that, on the end, and that way it's easy grabbing if this was a cocktail hour. Okay, now the traditional kebab, same idea as the mini kebab. You elongate the kebab, okay, and you stick the skewer all the way through. And then you have a traditional kebab that can go onto a regular char grill. Okay, now the last kind would be sauteing it in a pan. I'm not going to do that so I can finish these out in burger patties. I know at the start of 2021, at the start of any new year, a lot of people will make New Year's resolutions. So I have tried to be reasonable with myself this year with New Year's resolutions, and I want to share them with you. My first New Year's resolution is to have more fun in the kitchen. Now, I love cooking. I love hosting people and entertaining and doing these cooking classes and everything. But just in general, I think I get kind of serious in the kitchen. So I am trying to make myself a little more creative, adventurous, and just have more fun. So the first way I'm doing that is now I'm wearing these custom aprons that my husband got me this one. And I don't know, I have so much fun cooking in it. So this is going to be step one of my resolution. Step two is I'm going to be starting to use different kinds of tools. So even if they're not specifically Mediterranean, for example, today I have an Alaskan ulu knife, which I also got as a very cool gift from my husband for Christmas. And I'm going to show you how to use it. So I encourage you, if you want to use, different kinds of utensils that maybe you don't usually use when cooking for a specific type of method of cooking, just for the heck of it, like a Persian tagine. It's like a clay pot that has a lid. Those are always fun to make stews with. So if you can do these like cultural type things with your cooking tools and utensils, it's a lot more fun too. So that's one way, of course, I'm doing that resolution. Okay. So we are ready. I'm going to pop these in the oven for about 25 minutes. And then we will be ready with some Kafta burgers. Okay. I have the oven on 350, by the way. Okay, now let's get back to the next recipe. Is going to be a garlicky cabbage salad. So I'm going to put this just out of the way for a second. Okay, so the cabbage salad. The cabbage salad that I'm doing today, it's similar to our Sassool cabbage salad. It has green and red cabbage. It has tomatoes. It has green onion, as our regular cabbage salad does. What I've done is I've swapped parsley for spinach, and I've swapped the vinegary dressing in the cabbage for a garlic dressing. So this is something where I would make it at home. I actually pair it with kafta, which is really cool because today we're getting like the regular menu. But I love cabbage salad. I eat it a lot with different kinds of meats. I stuff it in sandwiches. It's one of my go-tos for like a crunchy green option, which is, just in time for the Sassool 500. I've been trying to eat a lot more green with every meal, like lunch and dinner, have at least just one green. And it's really kind of helping me reboot my diet from being pregnant and then kind of being on a roller coaster of having an infant and trying to learn when I can eat, and when I eat, I need to eat right then. So we're settling down and starting to get back into a normal routine, which is great that it's aligning with January and starting to eat healthy again. So let's start with the cabbage. This is where I'm going to show you the ulu knife. So the Alaskan ulu knife, and this is just kind of like a little extra because I want to have fun. Comes with a case and everything. So this is traditionally used to cut fish. It detaches it from the skin, then they slice it. They have cutting competitions in Alaska, and they use these only. So I did a little research on how people use them. It comes also with a very cool cutting board. This is great if you want to cut up herbs. So like using the gliding method. We'll do it on the spinach for the sake of showing you. Like this. It also, believe it or not, works amazing on nuts. So if you have almonds, peanuts, walnuts, and you put it into this thing, you rock it back and forth. So it's lots of fun that way. But I also found out that it's really great at cutting cabbage because it can cut very thin slices. So let me show you that. I cut my purple cabbage ahead of time and saved the green cabbage for you. Okay. So we're gonna take the kind of bendy leaves. You can use this for a stir fry. It's not the best for salad. You're wanting to get the firm and whiter center. That's the best for the salad. Okay. So we're gonna make a few wedges. And then when I use a typical knife, I'm gonna be, making shreds this way. When I use the ulu knife, just so you guys can see, I actually kind of hold the wedge like this. And you see, it makes the slices so thin. And it's loud, but you actually have a lot of control. And you can determine the width of the shreds, which is great for cabbage salad, because if, the typical slaw is super, super thin, and then the cabbage salad at Sassool is like a thicker cabbage. So, whatever you choose is better. You can do that, with the ulu knife or with just your typical chef knife. Okay. I've told myself I'm going to show you guys some fun things. Every single class, I'm going to show you something different that's fun. So that was your fun addition this class. Does anyone have any New Year's resolutions that they'd like to share with the group? We can all inspire ourselves or inspire each other. If you are interested in following along with the Sassool 500, there's a few ways you can kind of participate. So we have nutrition packs available on our Facebooks, both of the Raleigh and Cary location. We have nutrition packs available in store. We also have a healthy plate guide in both locations that's like 13 pages long. It has all of the previous Sassool 500 plates from the last 2 years. It has them compiled. So you can look at the sheet, you can see a meal that you love and just show the customer service person, when they ask you what you'd like to order, you can show them that plate and then you will get that plate and the calories you're eating. So that's really cool. I'm chopping up the spinach right now as I talk. And then also you can tune in to our Facebook and our Instagrams, the stories, the first Sassool Cafe. We show the breakdown of the plates. We give some tips, why it's healthy and how to increase health in your diet without feeling like it is a diet, because we don't need to diet. We just need to eat mindfully and eat healthy. That is what we're trying to promote at Sassool. We don't say that the Sassool 500 is a diet. No, it's just kind of a celebration of a bunch of the fresh ingredients that we use, the healthy combinations that we make, our salads and sides and the really high quality ingredients that we use in our salads. Okay, so in the bowl we have cabbage, we have purple cabbage, we have our spinach. Now we're doing some green onion, and you want to do the onion probably like 2 centimeters large. Okay, the tops, I don't use the tops of green onions because they tend to get very wilted. This salad is great to be eaten right away. It's even better to be eaten a day or two later because over time, as the garlic kind of sits and bathes with the cabbage, the flavor just maximizes, and it's really tasty. And that's like day 2. That's when I would use it on top of a burger. I would stuff it in a sandwich. Use it kind of like how you use coleslaw. The other kind of surprise that I only figured out midday today, I had a very momming day. It was busy. My son was pretty demanding, and I forgot tomato. Now, I wanted to show you how creative you can be and you can improvise. I had some roasted beets, so I swapped a beet for a tomato. So I have, when I prepped, I chopped up a beet. What it's going to do, it's going to give it a little bit different of a taste, different color and different look, but it still has so much vitamins in it, very fresh, and it's going to be super, super tasty. So if you're in a pinch, and you don't have time to go to the store and maybe you forget a vegetable, just improvise. And that's the best thing to do. We have all of the vegetables in the mixing bowl. Now I'm putting the garlic dressing in the bowl, as well as lemon juice and olive oil. We're making our salad dressing. Also going in is the salt and black pepper.
I had a question on the garlic whip. Do they whip the garlic for 25 minutes or until the garlic and oil have all mixed and fluffy?
Yes. So if it becomes fluffy sooner than 20 minutes, you are so lucky. And yes, use it then. You just want to make sure everything is whipped. It's in a tight mix and it's glossy and fluffy, and then you're good to go.
And can you use a raw beet?
Yes, you can use a raw beet. Just like in the autumn root salad, it would taste really good, add a great crunch. It's still so much vitamins. Okay, so we have our dressing. This is garlic, olive oil, and lemon juice. The garlic whip, olive oil, lemon juice, salt, and pepper. It's going to go on top of the salad. Okay. Okay. And bring this over here, and you toss it. Look at that color. In one of the posts this week about the Sassool 500, it said, look for color in your food because the color is what makes, your food so nutrient dense. You'll see a lot of vitamins in things such as red cabbage, sweet potatoes that are bright orange, carrots. These are all vegetables that have a super high content of really healthy vitamins and minerals. So when I look at the Sassool display case, like when I pop in and see my parents, I go up front and I'm like, okay, I'm going to get a meal to take home. Man, I notice all the color, and that's what's really great. You don't have to guess to know if it's healthy or not. You can see that it's so healthy. All of those bright colors, the fresh produce, and then our dressings, we don't make our dressings with sugar. Like, the bottle dressings have a whole lot of sugar. All of our dressings, basically olive oil and lemon juice or olive oil and vinegar. Straight to the point, no fillers. It's the good stuff. So I hope you get to take advantage of some of the Sassool 500 plates this month.
And I'm assuming you can add any type of other vegetable, like a shredded carrot or...
Absolutely. Yeah, if you want to add in carrots, if you want to put in parsley, tomato, cucumbers, bell pepper, all of this would work. Okay. We're going to move on to tzatziki. also told myself, it's during the Sassool 500. I've done this for 3 years now, getting very used to the nutrition facts and the healthy salads and everything, and becoming more familiar with the actual ingredients, not just, knowing that I love the salad. So one of my healthy tips for trying to refocus my diet, I think I said I was refocusing my diet as one of my resolutions. I have an order that I eat like my dinner so that I can kind of trick myself out of eating sweets, because I have a huge sweet tooth and I've been trying to work on that. So one trick I do is when I eat dinner, I start with the protein, whether it's fish, chicken, beef. The protein is going to make you full. It's going to refuel your muscles. And then I'll eat whatever else is on my plate, but I finish it with something sweet-ish, kind of like sweet potatoes. So my trick when I go to Sassool and pick out a plate, I'll get a protein, I'll get a green salad, and then I'll get something like sweet potatoes or beet salad, because it has that nice small sweetness to it. And then you can kind of trick yourself and think that you almost ate dessert. So that is my little trick for incorporating some of the useful salads at Sassool to get myself out of dessert. And that's how I'm kind of being healthy this January. I hope it helps anyone else who's trying to fight a sweet tooth. Okay, so Tatziki is going to use the food processor as well. The main star of tzatziki is Lubni. It comes in a container like this. It's also called kefir yogurt. All of the water has been strained from this yogurt, so it is so thick. It can be substituted with Greek yogurt if you like, but this yogurt is actually even thicker than Greek yogurt. So you'll get a little bit of a thinner consistency of tzatziki if you use Greek yogurt. But yeah, it will still taste the same. Now let me pop the food processor back up on the counter. Okay. And basically what we do is we make this garlic dressing with mint. So that's going to be the first thing. Then we add the garlic dressing to our strained cucumbers and yogurt. And then you have tzatziki. Now, one important thing to do ahead of time, you can even do it a day ahead of time, is dice your cucumbers and then put it into a colander or a strainer. You can utilize paper towels. Anything that is going to remove the water from these cucumbers, the better. Otherwise, when it goes into tzatziki, it's going to kind of separate from the yogurt and it'll be more watery and like less flavorful. So you do want to strain your 2 cups of cucumbers ahead of time. Okay. In the food processor, we're putting garlic, lemon juice, salt, and olive oil. We're going to grind this up and then we're going to add the mint. Okay. We're going to add our mint leaves. Of course, you wash these ahead of time, dry them. You take them off the stems. So it's literally the fresh mint.
Do you salt your cucumbers?
I don't salt my cucumbers, no. If I was to eat them like with hummus or, as dipping, yes, that salted cucumbers taste awesome. For the tzatziki, it already has salt, so I don't think it's necessary. we have the mix for our tzatziki. So what we're gonna do, shuffle around these ingredients. Okay. We have our vegetable mix. That goes in with the yogurt. Okay. And the cucumbers. I really love the Sassool tzatziki because it is so thick. That is one of the things that I really love about it. I've been to other restaurants. Some are Greek, some are just Mediterranean. But the tzatziki sometimes is like a sauce. It's more, you know, like their secret sauce, and a lot thinner. But I really do prefer the kind at Sassool. It's very chunky. The cucumbers are not shredded, they're diced. And there's just a whole lot of flavor. And you can eat it with pita. You don't have to just, you know, drizzle it on a salad or something if it was like a dressing or sauce. No, it's thick, it's dippable, and you can get a pita chip in there really good. Now, what I do to garnish, now if you do prefer your tzatziki thinner, you can add milk and it will become more thin, you know, as you continue to add milk, and you could do it all the way as thin to a sauce. But if you do want it as like a dip, then you do not need to add any milk and just use the thick leavening. Yeah. Okay. And so what I was saying before, sorry, if you'd like to garnish your tzatziki, if you're going to put it on a platter, use components that are already in the tzatziki to decorate it with, such as fresh mint, slices of cucumber. You can make them into small designs and then do them around the platter that you have tzatziki in. And it makes it very cool. It makes the color pop. And just having kind of like that organic display of the recipe and then those components beside it, it looks really, really beautiful. Will brighten up your dinner table, and it'll kind of take it to the next level. We have 5 minutes left on the kafta. Let me plate up these items so you can kind of see them together and visually see how they came out. Does anyone have any questions so far about any of the recipes while I'm plating this stuff up? So again, with having more fun in the kitchen, I'm using these new plates that I got. My family was really generous in giving me all these different things that I could use in my cooking classes, use when I entertain people in my house, and as I create more recipes. So my mom and dad, they gave me these black slate plates, which I am obsessed with. So that another component of fun. Yes, I think we have a question.
How long did you say the kafta bakes at 350?
For 25 minutes.
And did you use canned beets or boiled?
Boiled. Mm-hmm. Okay.
What should the internal temperatures be on the burgers?
They should reach 170.
If you want more of a vinegar-based cabbage salad, could you just leave the garlic whip out and add vinegar?
Absolutely. Yeah. So if, I don't know if you heard the question, but if you want more of a vinegary cabbage salad, just remove the garlic paste. I would still keep a little bit of the lemon juice because lemon juice actually balances out vinegar when you mix them together, and just continue with the recipe as listed. I'm going to get some fresh mint because I want you guys to see how it makes it pop on the plate.
How long does tzatziki keep in the fridge?
Okay. Tatziki is going to keep in the fridge for about 5 days. Okay, so we have our fresh mint. What we do when we're doing catering platters is we bunch up the mint so that it kind of looks like a flower. And then you'll put it like this. How pretty does that look? And then You can also go like this.
We have a viewer who's out of state and wants you to say a little bit about the restaurant.
Sure. Oh yeah. So Sassool is my family's family-owned restaurant. We have 2 locations, one in Raleigh, North Carolina, one in Cary, North Carolina. We have a huge part of the menu is like our 40 plus assorted Mediterranean salads. When you go in, it looks like a deli counter with a beautiful, colorful display of different salads, plus hummus, baba ganoush, tzatziki, labneh, cilantro jalapeno hummus, stuffed grape leaves, kibbe, falafel, you know, everything that is part of traditional Lebanese food, plus that additional variety of Mediterranean salads. We have a hot case where we have lots of different warm specialties, and then we have grilled kebabs and shawarma. When you go to Sassool, pretty much whichever options look amazing, you can make that into a plate. So typically people will order pick 3s, pick 4s. They'll order kebabs with sides. They'll order shawarma with sides. And then the fun thing too, which has been equally as helpful, like in my life recently, is the to-go containers that you can get. So every salad, hummus, warm item can also be brought home in bulk size containers, and you would purchase that just as you would at a deli counter, and you get it by the pound, and we weigh it. So yes, Sassool is my grandmother's nickname, and she is the one who has inspired all the recipes. So that's why we call our restaurant Sassool. And she was the one who had given my dad in the very beginning. She gave him a collection of her recipes, and that started the restaurant he began with. About 25 years later, it evolved. You know, we became Sassool, and now my sister, my mom, myself, and my dad, we are all kind of doing this very beautiful labor of love, which Sassool has grown to. So that's the gist of the restaurant. I'm going to add some cabbage salad to the plate. Okay. So we have the white and green, and then that beautiful purple, green, and white. I am so obsessed actually with adding the beets in the cabbage salad. This is like a mom mistake that has turned into something amazing. I really encourage you guys to try the diced beets in your cabbage salad with the garlic dressing. It's out of this world. And the kafta is now ready. Let me grab some gloves. Beautiful. Here. Okay. Thank you. Now, best preference would be to grill it on a char grill, or like we do a lot of fire cooking at my house. We have our fire pit, and we've set it up so that it's a great cooking facility out there. But baking is always great too. Okay, so I want to show you guys this beautiful plate. It can be healthy. It can be a very substantial meal, but you know, you use fresh produce and high quality ingredients like extra virgin olive oil. And then you have all of this nutritious meal, all the color, and it's really satisfying. Does anyone have any questions? Any New Year's resolutions anyone would like to share with the group? Inspire others? I don't think I took the answers last time I asked.
Where do you find fresh mint?
So first, there is, you know, the North Carolina Farmers Market. We do receive produce from the farmers market. However, as of this year, Sassool actually has a mint garden that is huge. It provides mint to both locations of Sassool. My dad, Munir, he goes to the mint garden probably 3 times a week. He loves, not only watering and kind of tending to the mint, but also picking it. And it has just really provided the restaurant for not just for the tzatziki, but for other salads and dishes that we do. All of this mint is from that garden. So that's a really cool addition, actually, that we started this year. And I'm excited about that. And right now we only have mint in that garden, but looking to, further continue to expand the garden and hopefully add some more produce so we can become super sufficient, on the actual garden that we cultivate.
Gigi says that looks amazing. Jim asks, what do you put the tzatziki on?
Okay, so the tzatziki, we can use it some different ways. And thank you, Gigi, for telling me that the food looks amazing. I'm about to dive in just a few minutes. Tatziki is a great dip that you can use with the raw cucumbers, carrots, also pita chips or crackers. So you can use it as a dip that way. You can use it as a topping. So what I would do if I was feeling, super foodie is I would put my Kafta burger on a bun, add the tzatziki on top, as we do at Sassool. We do the Kafta burger with tzatziki, and then add the cabbage salad on top of that. So then you have this amazing sandwich with the nice garden fresh kafta, the cool tzatziki, and then the crunchy cabbage, in between a bun or Texas toast or pita bread. And that is like a winning combination. This right here on a sandwich. That's what I would do with a tzatziki, but there's so many uses that you can do. Any other questions?
Thank you so much. Fabulous class and recipes. I'm getting a bunch of thank yous.
Awesome.
Looks amazing.
Thank you guys.
Love
Thank
your
you
restaurant and seeing how it's made.
This is
lovely.
Being able to share these recipes with you. I know I've said it before, but it's awesome being able to do it virtual so that I can still connect with you guys and share these recipes and show you variations and show you how to have fun. It's made, my 2020 not so bad at all. It has been, really, really rewarding to be able to do that. And 2021 is going to be even better. I have I'm promising more content. So actually within a couple of days, we'll be having more videos. We'll have a YouTube channel. We have a Vimeo channel, which we'll be adding videos in the next couple of days. So showing more interactive things, how you can use the grocery items and different variations on current Sassool items, such as like our cabbage salad. So we'll be showing clips and fun videos. Also, just to kind of tell you what's in the next couple of weeks, we have bloggers that are following the Sassool 500 so that they can tell people about their experience. So we'll be featuring those on our pages if you want to kind of see how other people are taking those healthy plates and enjoying them for dinner. And then we have another cooking class in 2 weeks, which we will have a special guest. And I'm going to keep it hush hush as long as I can, but you won't want to miss that class. That will be in 2 weeks on Wednesday. Followed by 2 weeks later, close to Valentine's Day, I will be doing a couples edition. My husband and I will be cooking together. We'll be showing some Mediterranean-inspired items that are great for date night and ones that we have used before. But I hope you guys all tune in, and I hope you enjoy Sassool in the meantime. If you have questions about the recipes or anything Sassool related, or as we get back into catering, I handle catering at the restaurant, so you can always email me about that. But I hope you enjoy the kafta any way you like at home and do your thing.